Silent enim legēs inter arma is a Latin phrase meaning, for among times of arms the law falls mute, but is more popularly rendered as, in times of war, the law falls silent. This aphorism was likely first written in these words by Cicero in his published oration Pro Milone. The phrase has gone down in history as countless interpretations use it to either justify matters of war or warn of the authoritarian nature of states at war. In its more modern usage, the phrase has become a watchword about the erosion of civil liberties during wartime. In the first episode of Epic Quotes, we look at a tumultuous period of the Roman Empire's history and the context of Cicero's words.
My fellow citizens.
In the immediate wake of the September 11th attacks, the maxim was aired and questioned in the media of the United States with a renewed force. The implication of the saying, as currently used, is in the context of the debate whether civil liberties and freedoms are subservient to a wartime nation's duty of self-defense. One example being the Patriot Act, which subverted some civil liberties in the name of security. The phrase, however, has its roots in a typical Roman story involving murder, politics, and power. Hey guys, just a reminder, you can pick up your own Epic Quotes t-shirt with the link in the description below and help keep this channel running. You guys are just awesome. Marcus Tullius Cicero was a Roman politician and lawyer who served as consul in the year 63 BC. He came from a wealthy municipal family of the Roman equestrian order and is considered one of Rome's greatest orators and statesmen. Cicero was a very accomplished man in many fields, including philosophy. He introduced the Romans to the chief schools of Greek philosophy and created a Latin philosophical vocabulary. Although Cicero was also an accomplished public speaker and successful lawyer, he believed his political career was his most important achievement. It was during his consulship that outside forces attempted to overthrow the government through an attack on the city, but Cicero suppressed the revolt by executing 5 conspirators without due process. The phrase, "in times of war the law falls silent," was said in a speech by Cicero in 52 BCE on behalf of his friend Titus Annius Milo, who was accused of murdering his political enemy Claudius. The charge was brought against Milo for the death of Claudius following a violent altercation outside Claudius's estate. When initially questioned about the circumstances of Claudius's death, Milo responded with the excuse of self-defense, and that it was Claudius who laid a trap for Milo to kill him. Cicero had fashioned his speech to be in line with Milo's initial excuse. The early part of his speech, which focuses on justifying Milo's actions, contains the first known use of the phrase, "Silent enim legēs inter arma." In times of war, the laws fall silent. The phrase is there integral to Cicero's argument. In the context of his speech, called the Pro Milone, Cicero was asserting that the killing of Claudius was admissible if it was an act of self-defense. Cicero argues that in extreme cases, when one's own life is immediately threatened, any action, regardless of the laws, is justifiable. Indeed, Cicero goes as far as to say that such behavior is instinctive to all living creatures. We are not taught self-defense through instruction, but through natural intuition. Essentially, Cicero is arguing that human nature inclines one to act with one's own self-interest in times of threat, and in that moment all acts are admissible for self-preservation. Cicero also implies in his speech that Claudius was a problematic figure who was causing instability in Rome, and Cicero goes as far as to accuse him of being an enemy of the state. In this context, Milo could be seen as acting in the self-defense not only of himself, but of Rome. Cicero's argument was unable to convince the jury, and Milo was condemned for the murder by a margin of 38 votes to 13, and was exiled to the Gallic town of Massilia, or modern-day Marseille. Cicero, on the other hand, met with a very Roman fate. The chaotic latter half of the 1st century BC was marked by civil wars and the dictatorship of Gaius Julius Caesar. Cicero championed a return to the traditional republican government. Following Julius Caesar's death, Cicero became an enemy of Mark Antony in the ensuing power struggle, attacking him in a series of speeches. He was then dubbed an enemy of the state and consequently executed. His severed hands and head were then, as a final revenge of Mark Antony, displayed in the Roman Forum. Silent enim legēs inter arma. In times of war, the law falls silent. Hey guys, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. I hope you enjoyed today's report. You can follow me on Instagram up here, or you can like and sub with the buttons below. You guys are awesome as always, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.